Welcome back, System Wars. Happy New Year. 2015, pedal to the metal. We're all recharged. We got our holidays out. Winding down with uh, 2014 games. Still playing some of them if you're like me. But we're going to get into that. We're going to pick our 2014 game. Talk about the rejuvenation of System Wars and see if there's going to be any drama like the past years. Hopefully not. I really like how they put together the voting this year, so
Yep.
there's no counting, no more uh, bullshit. Plus, there's a recap, so you can see for all the seats. I think they did that well. But anyway, as always, joined by the Master Shredder, the guy that hates Dragon Age. D-Roke, what's up?
I most certainly do not hate Dragon Age. In fact, Dragon Age is God tier. It's
But
amazing.
I hate you.
I don't care, man. I'm going to say every day. Dragon Age, they nailed it. Fucking BioWare nailed it. They nailed it.
It's the
Hey,
important
Rook,
thing.
who is that I heard in the background? I haven't seen this person in, gosh, it's probably been, I bet you a month, of podcast.
Yeah,
I haven't
this-
seen this. Who
What do
is
you mean
it?
a month? You guys did the last podcast
Without you were on a date.
Yeah, I was on
Yeah.
a date. Yeah.
Yeah, this is our friend Banimal Mother.
Animal uncle, animal brain damage. How was that? How was everyone's holiday? First off, we should
I had a really good one. It was great because
be a little personal. Hyle, how was
I had-
Christmas?
I had the kids most of mine, so I'm divorced, so I split the holidays. But
It's nice.
happened to this one that I got most of Christmas Eve and Christmas, and then after that, so it was nice. So kids helped me put up the tree and decorate it, and
Nice.
they got all the shit that they wanted. Stuff. Sorry. I didn't get anything video game related this year, which is fine. I did get a thing that changed my life, which was the spicy rack. So have you seen that commercial?
What
No.
is
For the
what
spicy
is
rack?
the spicy rack?
You haven't seen the spicy rack I've seen on TV? Or-
No, what? No,
I will link
watch
it.
TV.
But my wife was joking. It's like, it actually changed my life. It actually organizes your spice shelf. So,
Oh, that would be great.
so it actually puts a shelf inside your spice rack. So
So it's just a spice rack?
it's just a spice rack.
So you know what I got? I got for a surprise gift from my wife is I got a KitchenMaid. I swear-
Did you?
I swear to God, man. I was like, yes, I can make cookies now.
That's awesome.
I can make cookies now.
I didn't get anything because I'm. Oh, sorry.
Could
Go
You
on.
liar.
What did you get?
No, I was gonna say I didn't get anything from a loved one. I don't have a wife.
Well, there's still people that love you, Ann.
Yes, there are people that love me, like my mother. My mother still loves me.
Yes.
Hey, Roika, I wanted to ask you a question, a rock question, if you've seen.
All right.
You know, the Foo Fighters are coming around, and I'm going to
Yep.
St. Paul in August, taking to my kids to the first rock show
Yeah.
That's a good rock
Foo
show. to take them
Fighters.
to.
Yeah.
at the St. Paul Center, 18,000 motherfuckers strong. But Foo Fighters, they're just phenomenal. Even if you don't like them, they can just draw in crowd. They actually did a short, what do you want to call it? A short notice
Yeah.
for the forum in the round, and they got, of course, that's sold out. LA, not that hard, but you're a big band. But they had guest stars for Dave's upcoming birthday, which was I think yesterday, today, but it was on the 15th.
Yeah.
So they had Paul Stanley from Kiss.
No way.
And they did Detroit, Lock City, and Can You Do You Love Me?
Wow, dude. Well, hold on a second. Are you ready for this?
Oh
Yeah,
no!
Kiss shirt. Oh,
yeah.
Check it out,
And
dude.
then they had
mess around. I don't fuck around.
I have.
Then they had,
I love Detroit Rock City.
Oh,
Wait,
yeah.
is
Then
that
they
an
had,
album? Detroit Rock City is an
it
album.
is. Yep.
Right? I think it's like one of my favorite albums. I have a couple Kiss albums.
It's
Destroyer.
Destroyer.
Destroyer. Yes, I have Destroyer.
Then they had David Lee Roth, who did Panama. They had Alice Cooper, that did
That's really cool.
18, and they also had Tenacious D and Slash. So anyway, it's pretty cool. I thought you should check it out. It's a YouTube video. So people, of course, everyone films these days. So there's some pretty good sound out there.
Absolutely.
I have brain damage now.
Yeah, tell us about Animal. Now, your Christmas was wonderful, I'm sure. But
And then
Christmas
for our
was-
listeners out there, we put now in parentheses now.
Yeah, now I have brain damage. No, Christmas was really good. Like I got what I wanted. Like I just, cause you know what it is. I'm at that weird age of 27, where I'm not like most New Yorkers, where I'm not quite married, but I'm not quite like there yet. I got a bunch of gift cards, like a shit ton of gift cards.
That's awesome.
Wow.
My wife hates those. I'll go into that afterwards, but go ahead.
No, like I told my mom because I'm a traveler, so I told her like something that can help me with like I'm getting a voiceover demo done soon, and
Are you gonna work in TV and film?
well, I already have. I worked.
Look at him. He's wearing fucking. He looks like a fucking movie star with his fucking headset, and he looks like a director that's like live from New York. It's Johnny. That's awesome though.
No,
you got
Chris,
some gift cards.
Yeah, I got a bunch of gift cards. I bought a couple games during the Steam sale. What else?
What'd you get? Well, give me one. You don't have to give me the whole list, but give me one game of note that you got at the Steam sale because I didn't get anything.
I actually have a very short list because I'm getting to the point where I'm buying everything. I bought Metal Gear Ground Zeroes for $10. I wanted to see how.
No, didn't you play that on console?
Yeah, I wanted to see how it looked on my bitchin' new PC. I bought here. I'm record. Oh no, the webcam. I bought I Am Bread, Shadow Warrior, Murdered Soul Suspect, Cargo 3, Anno 2070, Far Sky, a game called Far Sky, Marlowe Briggs.
Holy shit, you bought a lot.
Yeah, he's like, I didn't really buy that much.
Well,
I haven't
considering the Steam sale, let me see here. I bought 1, 2, 3.
Spent about
4,
50 bucks.
5. Yeah, like about $50. And I bought that's it. Scania Truck Driving Simulator.
Wow.
Yeah, so I didn't buy too much. And then I was in a car accident over the weekend.
Yeah, tell us about that now. I didn't even know about it. Animal was actually going to come up and visit Chateau Eroica at some point in January. We were going to make plans to have him come hang out up here in my neck of the woods, but that fell through because Animal got in a car accident. Take it away.
Obviously, I'm still here, unless this is like a really shitty coma dream. I was talking to my lady friend, and I was just talking like, what if I was really like in a really shitty coma dream where I just get up and go to work and then I podcast with you assholes?
And it's just an endless loop.
It's just an endless loop.
What a horrible day, dude.
What a terrible. It's awful.
I'm just gonna keep picking on you.
No, but I was it's weird. We were talking about it, Eroica, and Heil. I explained to you what happened.
Yeah. It looked nasty. I'm surprised you went. I'm actually surprised that you came out unscathed.
Yeah. What happened was, Eroica and I were talking about it. You're like most accidents happen close to your home, or that's what the studies show.
Right.
And I was like 2 minutes from my house, and I was going straight at an intersection, and the woman. I was going south. She was coming north, but she was turning to go west, and she turned without seeing me. So I was coming straight, and she turned without seeing me. And by the time I saw her, everyone thinks she hit me. I hit her because she had already started the turn, and she tried to gun it through the turn when she saw me. She tried pulling her car to the left. I cut my wheel to the right, but it was way too late. Here, I won't post a picture, but
that sucks, dude. But yeah, so you've been brain damaged though.
I've been brain damaged.
Like I talked to Animal the other day, and I think I had a better conversation with a piece of toast for my morning breakfast. That I did because he's got mush brain right now.
I'm not. I don't think I'm that bad though.
The wreck was. I don't know. Maybe we should post a picture for the users. It's pretty. There you go.
Yeah, so people can see.
Yeah, you nailed it, dude.
Oh my god.
You didn't nail it, but you nailed it.
Both airbags. Thanks, Jeff. Both airbags went off.
Yeah.
That's me standing near the wreckage.
Yeah.
That looks worse than the other pic, I think. I mean, when you see an actual close up of it, it's pretty bad.
Yeah,
Anyway, we're all glad you're okay.
Yeah, I mean it's I don't know if you guys have been in any big car accidents like that, but it's
Oh yeah.
I got hit by a car, dude, once. Like,
man, it was my first time. It's scary. Like I was telling Jeff, once I hit a bus full of old people. Like that's funny because that would happen.
that's funny. Somehow you getting hit is not funny, but you hitting a bus full of old people is funny.
That's funny. But because it was like an MTA bus, so it was like a big armored bus, and like the bus came to basically a stop without warning, and it was a rainy day, so I hydroplaned into the bus.
And nobody was horribly injured.
No, nobody was horribly injured, and luckily nobody was horribly injured in this accident, but still, like, there's a moment right before a car accident where it's just like, all right, you just gotta.
It's gonna happen.
You gotta saddle up for the ride and hope it goes well.
You guys see that? That's mine.
Oh no! Well, you don't have a camera, Heil. Oh,
no,
did you
saying
post it?
is, damn, dude.
That's a full size Dodge.
Oh, that's.
1500.
I'm not gonna click that link because it will reveal information, but I will look at it.
Wow, crazy. Well, I mean, Animal, we're happy that you're on the up and up and quickly recuperating.
Yeah, I took Tuesday off to play Dragon Age.
Say what? What game?
Dragon Age.
What was that game?
Dragon Age Inquisition.
Oh, BioWare's best game since possibly KOTOR?
Oh, really?
I'm sorry. What happened to Mass Effect 2?
Well, first of all, whoever said Mass Effect 2 was the best Mass Effect. Mass Effect 1 is the best Mass Effect.
Okay.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, all right. That's because you guys are casual noobs.
You were about to say something much worse.
No, I really like. Yeah, you guys will see you next Tuesdays.
Yeah.
No, I've been jamming on Dragon Age 2, man. I mean,
Dragon Age 2.
No, Dragon Age 3, but also
you mean like see brain damage? It's so apparent.
I played an ungodly amount of hours of it today.
How many hours are you in?
I'm about 45 hours in, and I started playing it the first week after Christmas.
See, I beat Far Cry, and there was another game that came out around that time that I had to beat before I fully invested my time into it.
Yeah, the thing is I mean, with a game like Dragon Age, where you just when you get the sense of like the breadth of everything, like when you're in the hinterlands and you're like, wow, this is a really big map, and then you realize that this is one of like a couple dozen really big maps. It kind of catches you and you go, all right, well, I can either spend 150 hours doing side missions or I can spend 80 hours just focusing on the main story. But I mean, I don't know what you guys think. I know Heil is a big Skyrim fan.
Oh yeah.
But Dragon Age to me is a game that is actually it's got a lot of the same like I can't put the controller down, I got to keep playing, one more thing, one more castle, one more map, one more objective,
one more Fade Rift, like
everything you do, grab one more plant, I need to grab a little bit more obsidian, I need to grab, you know what I mean? It's like the mining, it's just nonstop in that game. Like I just want to keep moving through it and I can't put it down, just like Skyrim, except I think it's executed a little bit sharper, man. I really like Dragon Age a lot.
I have two gripes with Dragon Age.
Sure,
I mean, what?
I'd love to hear them.
No. It's
no,
I think it's more of a personal preference thing than actually Dragon Age's fault. But I think Dragon Age throws a lot at you. Like it definitely doesn't ease you in any way. At least I think so a little bit.
Okay.
Like I think it could use a little more like of that smooth transition. But once you get all that stuff, like once you get the concept of the game and everything that's going on, it clicks, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, the part that to me I can see the validity in that is in a lot of the crafting and the weapon upgrades.
It's intimidating.
It's intimidating, and to the game's credit, it has some of the to me personally, some of the slickest fleshed out menus and inventory that I've ever played with. But when you get to the weapon upgrade and crafting systems, you run into kind of a situation where it's a little bit clunky because you can't necessarily always identify in the beginning when you're first learning the mechanics of the game, like what stuff goes with what character and what it actually is that you're supposed to be going for with the upgrades. Do I upgrade heavy arms, medium legs, heavy legs? Like, you've got to really learn the classes and kind of know what exactly you're doing to improve, because the upgrade system in it for Heil, I know Heil doesn't know, is like you can add certain elements, like things that you collect, different rocks like iron and
they add specific traits to a weapon
Right.
or armor.
So you can basically go through the whole game just crafting your own armor. You can even name the armor if you want.
Well, I had a friend name it like he had a sword. He named it something cock.
Yeah, the Thundercock.
I think it was the Thundercock, something like that.
But anyways, I mean, I'm not going to get into the menus of Dragon Age, but for me, playing it brought me right back to KOTOR, and I'm saying this with love and respect in the sense that my son is playing KOTOR right now. He wanted to play it on the iPad, and
How is that version?
KOTOR is a game that can control on just about anything because of the ability to stop the action and the fact that it relies on you to stop the action to size up battles. So the touchscreen interface, it actually works better in some respects. I still think after playing it I played about 20 minutes of it on the iPad because it's just my son's game. He's the one that's playing it. It's a little bit clunky to move around. It's all one finger, like you slide.
Oh, it's like that.
You slide up and he runs forward. It's actually a lot like the mouse controls on PC, where you can just click the left, and he'll move forward, and then you just move.
Oh, okay. See, I always use WASD in KOTOR.
Right. See, KOTOR, when I played through KOTOR on PC, I never even used my left hand. It was all just I did everything on the mouse.
And I guess my only other gripe with Dragon Age is, and it's not really Dragon Age's fault. It's BioWare's fault. I got a little spoiled by Mass Effect 2 and 3, where it the only thing you equipped for your characters was weapons. Like, you didn't really do too much customization for your characters.
Yeah, but how can you look at that like a bad thing, dude?
No, it's not a bad thing. It's just another intimidating thing where you gotta just learn the mechanics and go. Yeah. But that's the other thing. You have to get your mainstay party and go, all right, this is who I'm taking with me. These are the things I'm going to craft for these people.
Right. And you have to admit that in
because, like I said, it's a preference thing, not like it's not a knock against Dragon Age, which is an otherwise breathtakingly expansive game.
It's incredibly good. And I don't want anyone to get scared away either by what Animal just said, because I know, like, there are definitely games that I pick it up in like the first 10 hours of playing, I'm going, shit, man, like, this is an intimidating game. I can see what Animal's saying, but like, there's never something not to do that's within your level and that you can do well and kind of like grow outward with the game to learn the mechanics slowly. Like, one of the best pieces of advice I read before jumping into the game was simply to just take your time. Like, spend some time in the hinterlands, learning the mechanics of the game. Play multiplayer. Like, Animal and I played multiplayer, and I was playing the game a particular way until Animal and I played the multiplayer, which is very much like the Horde mode in, I don't want to say it's like Mass Effect, but what would you compare it to? It's kind of like a Diablo almost, like where you're
No, I would actually compare it to the Mass Effect because because you're on the one map, but unlike the Mass Effect, you're moving through the entire map with different objectives. I think we didn't make it to the fifth whatever, but it's like it interchanges every objective every whatever 5. It's not waves. Every 5 whatever it is. So it's like it's like you start out 1 out of 5, and then it's like, all right, clean out all the enemies in the area, and then it's like escort this guy somewhere, and then it's like do this, do that, and it's only 5 times, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
And it puts you in the fight too, and it gets you to learn, I think, some mechanics and the proper way to fight. Like, I'm a sword and shield type, and like just you and I playing it the other day, I'm like, okay, this is This is what this game wants me to do in the combat scenarios. Like, take the brunt of the damage with the shield and attack. Like, you kind of learn the scope of the combat more, I think, in multiplayer than when you're out roaming the lands and fighting periodically.
The roles in the multiplayer, unlike Mass Effect, are very specific.
Yeah.
Everyone plays their part, which is cool.
Yeah.
I mean, otherwise, like, I think it's an utterly fantastic game. I think it's pretty good looking. I think there's some great views. I don't think we've hit that next gen, like, holy shit, like, this looks good yet. Though I've heard GTA 5 comes really close.
Really, I gotta get that.
That's what
I should have that in GameFly today, I think.
Oh, really? I want to, you know what? I want to play through it in only first person mode, just so I can feel like I'm playing like a kind of a different approach to a game that I've already played. And you know what? GTA 5 was big enough, and after I was done with the single player, I didn't touch it. Like, we played a few hours on the online, but after that I kind of abandoned it and moved on. So, like, it's not like that game was running long in the teeth for me when I got rid of it anyways. So I think a next gen. You just got it in GameFly?
It should be here today, yes.
Yeah, and Animal, you haven't played it yet?
No, I actually I played it via SharePlay.
Oh, nice.
I mean, obviously the graphics weren't up to the par because it streams out at 720. But I mean, I tried the first person mode. You know, they have the COD controls. They have a bunch of different control sets. And seeing GTA 5 from that perspective adds like a whole new life. Like you said, it adds a whole new life to the game.
Yeah.
It makes it a completely different game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just from the way you interact with the world. Like, I played it for the 60 minutes that my friend let me before he's like, oh, let me play again. But, like, driving in the first person and shooting in first person and all that stuff, it added a whole new breath of life to the game. He told me, he's like, you got to get it. And I told him, I said, listen, once the heists are officially released, I will buy GTA 5 for my PS4. But I said, until then, I'm not going to, like... Because I'm like you, I'm still playing through Dragon Age.
Yeah, I got tons
I've beat all, if not most of my PS4 games. I only have like 2 or 3 left. And Bloodborne's coming. And The Order is coming.
You're gonna get both. You are.
No, I'm seeing a lady friend. I'm trying to just get my shit together as an adult.
You don't want her to catch you playing Battleborn? Bloodborne?
Battleborn. No, she asked me. She's like, yeah. Do you play video games? I was like, yeah.
Kinda, a little.
No, I was
Battleborn, that's an awesome Five Finger Death Punch song.
I was like, yeah. I was like, no, yeah. I play video games. Like, you know, I do. She's like, oh, that's cool. She likes Harry Potter, so I'm not gonna sit here and split hairs because I play video games.
Well, why should you? I mean, whatever. All right, so I want to get into the final de facto, since we're 2 weeks into January, classic late P2M style. I don't want to spend a lot of time on it, but if you had to give like your stamp of approval on, I don't know, top 3 games, I guess, of 2014, Heil, what would you say?
Ooh, that'd be tough. That'd probably be Sunset Overdrive.
Number 1.
I might go with Far Cry 4, and probably I had a lot of fun with Unity. Unity was my first game I platinumed.
Oh, congratulations!
Really? You
Yes.
platinumed Unity?
I did.
Good job,
There's
man.
like 500 and some fucking collectibles.
Oh my god!
Wow.
I platinumed.
And after I got
Far Cry
those, it's
4.
like there's no going back. So the only thing I didn't like about that is how they tied the sync to multiplayer, because you had to get the sync points to unlock the skills. But at the end, I had the God Gear, God Sword, and I could play the multiplayer minus like 2 missions by myself, and then get the sync points. Because what happens when you play with randoms, they don't have the mic. You can't tell them that, hey, I want to get the sync points, so they finish the mission, and if you have to go outside of the realm to get a sync point, the mission ends, and
Right.
it's like fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I had a lot of fun. I probably put 60 to 70 hours in that probably.
I was gonna say, do you think that Heil platinuming his second Assassin's Creed game, it makes sense?
I don't think it took 60 to 70 hours to platinum it.
I probably put that many into it, sure.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you go through the single player in 30, 35, and then you got to play basically every
Well, then
story
you have to
mission,
get all the collectibles.
and you have
Hold on, I'll tell you in a second.
Oh,
I'm slower than most. I shouldn't say that sounds horrible. I
That's
get a big
true.
black cock in my mouth now. But I enjoy
my
games
God.
more instead of just like buzzing through them. But there's a hell of a lot of unlockables, and then you have to wait till like sequence 9 to get the third tier unlocking.
Yeah.
And once you get that, you have to pretty much go back, and then that's
yeah.
maybe 60 hours.
Okay, I could view more 60. There's a great website. I mean, everybody probably knows. There's a PlayStation Trophies.org and Xbox Trophies.org, where everyone puts together, like, not everyone, but there's some people put together guides for achievements and trophies.
Yeah.
Here they put Assassin's Creed at 30 to 50 hours. Estimated time, obviously play styles, difficulty, how many times you retry is not taken into account. And it has an estimated difficulty of 3 out of 10, though.
It's not bad. It's just time consuming.
Yeah.
I got hooked on it, and I just it's one of those games that once I start playing it in France is just beautiful.
Yeah.
You still get some of the slowdown, stuttering. But it never detracted me from the game ever. And the multiplayer can be fun, but as a whole, for me, playing multiplayer with randoms these days is not that much fun. So I'd much rather play
with like Eroica or I.
Which would be my other game, which would be Far Cry 4, because of the endless fun that I've had with the multiplayer. They got it right this time. It's a big sandbox. You can reset your outpost.
Mm-hmm.
Instant replayability there. I'm pretty sure you can co-op other people's creations. Endless playability there. They have put in automatically making of your syringes, so you don't have to. Once you get the ingredients for those, it automatically makes your syringe. And it looks great. I mean, people say it's 3.5, which I enjoyed 3 minus the shitty netcode of the co-op there. But there's no missions. Like in 3 co-op, they have.
They just bring you into the world. It's all free.
Yeah, you can do assassinations. You can do rescue hostages. You can do. Last night we did a caravan escort. So I had a lot of fun. I'll probably put that many hours into that one too. So, but I played a lot of games. I played The Walking Dead 2. Is fantastic. I finished that.
Yep.
Don't spoil that. I gotta start that.
I haven't touched either. Actually, PlayStation had, that was one of the games I got on the PS sale was
the whole season for like $6.
$6, dude. $6 for the whole season, and I also got Metal Gear Ground Zeroes.
Ground Zeroes is so good.
For $6.
So good.
For PS4. I'm psyched. But yeah, I mean,
what about you? What have you been playing?
Well, no, we're doing our games of the year.
I'm asking. All right. I meant to say, what have your games of the year been?
My games of the year. You know what? I'm gonna. It's adjusted.
Wait, real quick, Heil. You. What games did Heil say?
Sunset Overdrive, Far Cry 4, and Assassin's Creed Unity. That was Heil's. Mine are. I'm gonna zip through them. Number 3, I'm gonna say Infamous Second Son.
Really?
Yep, number 3 because of these reasons.
Wow.
Well, here's why.
Damn it!
Did what it promised. Released a really nice, well-running, gorgeous, maybe still the most beautiful next-gen game out there on console. 60 frames a second too, right?
No, it was locked at 30, and then they added a 60 option.
They added a 60 option. Okay, I remember they. I think it was like a week after they added in a patch. Game ran. Game didn't disappoint. Did what it said it was going to do. I have some gripes with it. It was too short, but too short is.
It was tight. It was a really tight game.
It was a really tight, short game. But I mean, shit, we live in a world where Journey wins Game of the Year, and it's like 2 hours long, so I'm not going to hold that against it. There were some things in combat, especially early going, before you kind of become God-powered and can take out almost every situation, that I thought some of the gameplay mechanics that you got to kind of pop and fire and move and get out of there before you're overwhelmed. Before you learn the mechanics of how to, like, take on a group of guys, it was a little frustrating. But beyond that, like, really, really well done game, and Sucker Punch deserves credit in a year where a lot of big budget games kind of fell on their face, disappointed, or launched as good games with really, really bad tech behind them, or lousy frame rates or whatever. They did a good job with Second Son, and so it's my number 3 game. Number 2, I'm gonna say is Shadows of Mordor.
So good.
So good, man. I mean, just
so good.
The combat, the sword play. I mean, just the ugliest locales, the most boring video game locations. You know what? I got to say that I probably put 35 to 40 hours into that game, maybe a little bit more. And while I was playing 25 of those 40 hours, I was thinking to myself, I want this game set in a Star Wars universe. I want the Star Wars backdrop where you're a badass Jedi with the same type of combat as Shadow of Mordor in a Star Wars setting, because Lord of the Rings sucks. I'll never like it. It's boring, ugly, damp, stupid. And
the game still ended up, aside, like, I hate Lord of the Rings as much as you do. And aside from the setting, like, everything ended up being just really solid.
Yeah. It was the Nemesis system is as advertised. It's I would not be surprised if that. I don't want to say it's going to be the Gears of War edition where everybody's doing cover fire, but I think it's going to have an impact on future game development, because you have to be a moron to not recognize how really, really cool and extra layering that Nemesis system is. When you come across a guy that you fought maybe 2-3 hours earlier on the other side of the map or whatever,
and you died,
and he recognizes you and he talks to you like remembering your last fight, it's like, this is so cool. So number 2, and then number 1, dude, go ahead, John.
Dragon Age Inquisition.
So good. Dragon Age is KOTOR / Mass Effect good.
That's all you need to say, because we already talked about it.
Texas Gold Rush, I bow to your BioWare genius. It is so good. It is so good. I'm going to dump 200 in it.
Real quick, back to Shadow of Mordor. Where they got the Nemesis system from was a really cool idea. In an interview with GameSpot, they talk about how they got it from Batman and sports games. So they said in sports games that you develop rivalries, and your I'm sorry, I'm probably misquoting the shit out of this, but they said that you develop rivalries and you get points and whatever that's based on teams you face and blah blah blah. So they built off that concept where it's just like, well, teams have rivalries, and if they lose, they get higher up in the ranks, and you get a little bit lower. In Shadow of Mordor's case, you don't get lower; you just die.
Yeah.
And Batman, they said that Batman has a lot of like nemesis, enemies. Because Batman has the rogues gallery.
Yeah.
And they said that they took that where it's like, well, if Batman ran into Two-Face in Arkham City, and he's going to run into Two-Face again in Arkham Knight, what's stopping Two-Face from remembering Batman?
Right.
Yeah.
And
it was a really clever way to put together a system where, well, if this enemy on the chessboard kills you, he'll remember you, and he'll move up in the ranks. And, it's just a really awesome system. There's a great article where about Destiny, where it said that you'll create your own stories and all this rigmarole. And it never really did that, but it was odd because Shadows of Mordor did that. where you would go and find these enemies and you'd fight these captains or these war chiefs, and you would create your story around taking them down or building them up or whatever. Like, it was really awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I mean, through and through, they succeeded on that aspect of the game, and they did it well. And like, you can definitely feel the Batman draw, not just in the combat, but yeah, just the flow of the game. But
Well, apparently it was originally a Batman game. That's why.
oh, okay, all right. But yeah, I mean, Monolith did really, really good by their hype and their expectation. Running theme here with my games that lived up to the hype.
Well, I think Shadow of Mordor kind of came out of nowhere, though. Like, I think it had garnered something.
I think people were cautiously optimistic after seeing it unveiled at E3, and I think people, for the most part, supported the game, and it built up some moderate hype. But it wasn't
wasn't like overhyped.
It wasn't like Destiny hype or anything like that. It was just like, this game looks, from everything we've seen, looks like it could be pretty good. So and they
delivered.
They delivered on it. So go ahead, Animal. What are your three?
Number 3, Wolfenstein, The New Order. Wolfenstein: The New Order was one of the most pleasant surprises I played this year. You played it, Hyle?
Yep, I beat it.
I think in a world of first-person shooters, it's hard to stand out from a bunch of games. But Wolfenstein took a bunch of existing mechanics and just really tightened the game up. Mm-hmm. Like, they tightened up they threw a bunch of cool stuff in. Like, they threw a perk system from Call of Duty, and a bunch of cool stealth mechanics, and they really made it their own game. I don't want to say it was Starbreeze. Who was it that developed Wolfenstein? Let me see here real quick.
I forget.
Well, I know it was ex Starbreeze guys.
Yeah.
It's an amazing looking game, and it's a really sharp playing game. It was by Machine Games, which is a subsidiary of ZeniMax. It was members who worked on The Chronicles of Riddick, Escape from Butcher Bay, and The Darkness. And I think it was a really sharp game. It had a really good story. It had a really good main character. Even like, it was kind of like you were Brad Pitt from Inglourious Bastards.
Yep.
And I mean, the gameplay is really tight from start to finish. I was thoroughly entertained the whole time. My number 2 is going to go to Shadows of Mordor. Like you, Shadows of Mordor kind of just came out of nowhere, for me at least. Everyone was talking about it. Listening to the Giant Bombcast, somebody had said it was a Batman game, so that caught my attention, to pay more attention to it. And man, that game was it was sharp, it was tight, it was compact, and
satisfying.
It came out working.
Yeah.
It released like it released what they intended to do, and what's the word I'm looking for here? Like I told you, it was the best Assassin's Creed game I ever played. The parkour, like the one-button parkour, like I understand the complexity of Assassin's Creed, how it can be fun and intriguing, but Shadow of Mordor, the one-button, like, all right, I'm climbing, I'm jumping,
Yeah, you don't have hit detect. You don't walk around the corner like you do in Creed. And I'm not picking on Assassin's Creed because Assassin's Creed is vastly more complicated in what it's actually trying to do with traverse an actual city with structures and obstacles and people everywhere, where Mordor is like a green open field. Actually, when you're running around in Mordor, it feels like you're playing Shadow of the Colossus to me.
Yeah. Yeah,
You know
because
what I'm
there's a
It's
whole
very
lot of
barren.
nothing.
Yeah. And there's patrols of bad guys. I don't want anyone to think that there's like nothing to do. There's plenty to do. It's just that the game is wide open, and where Assassin's Creed needs something a little bit more. I can see that it's harder to program for something like Assassin's Creed, the parkour in Assassin's Creed, to be better than it would be for like something like a Shadow of Mordor, where you're jumping up on top of a pillar every once in a while, or climbing a rock wall or whatever. But it's not like
Assassin's
reliant
Creed puts
as
a lot
Assassin's
more.
Creed is.
Assassin's Creed puts a lot more sustenance in your way.
Yeah.
Like it puts a lot more in your way, so I understand the complexity. But I mean, like I said, Shadow of Mordor was just really tight. You know, they gave out all that free DLC. You know, they just put out Lord of the Hunt, and I mean, for major Lord of the Rings fans, I know that they fucked up everything, but
I could care less.
I could care less. The game was just so sharp.
Yeah, it was good.
So sharp.
And can I guess number one? Or no, I don't want to take your thunder. I think I know what you're gonna say though. I think I know what it's gonna be. I'm gonna type it in the box.
No. Don't say it. Don't type it in the box. Just say it. Just say it.
It's Alien Isolation.
No.
Okay.
It's
Destiny.
no. It's actually Dark Souls 2.
Wow.
No way.
Yeah.
He's a big Dark Souls fan. This makes sense.
Dark Souls 2 is one of those games. It split some people who originally liked Dark Souls. I think Dark Souls 2 was definitely a easier game, but I think that Dark Souls 2 didn't amp up any challenges. It didn't make it harder. It just there go my sunglasses. Dark Souls 2 just really it didn't up the ante in any way, but it made the mechanics and world and the idea of playing a game like that a little bit more interesting. I mean, I've beat Dark Souls, so I can't.
Oh my God, dude. Jesus Christ.
I beat Dark Souls 1 3 times, so I can definitely say for sure that is a much harder game. It's a more challenging game. It's a more demanding game, whereas Dark Souls 2 is more like, hey man, like we're still really hard and we still have the challenge, but we're gonna throw we're gonna turn it in your favor a bit with the mechanics and items and the multiplayer. And Dark Souls 2 just blew me away on every level. I think personally, like I understand some people don't like Dark Souls 2. I understand they don't find it as intense as Dark Souls 1, which is absolutely fine, and I understand why. Dark Souls 2 just really, the dedication you have to give to play it and to understand it and get to the end, it's just, it was so much fun. And because, you know, in Dark Souls you can summon, you've played Dark Souls with me.
Yep.
Dark Souls you can summon 2 people now instead of 1, and the camaraderie, like this kind of
working together,
this invisible camaraderie where you invite people in for bosses or short 20-minute bursts to help you clear an area. Like, I've never had more exciting times. I think Dark Souls had more interesting level design, where I think Dark Souls 2 had, how do I put this? I think it had better constructed areas artistically. It knocked it out of the ballpark for me. Like I beat the game 4 times. I think it was really good. I beat all the DLC, the Crown DLCs, Crown of the Ivory King, Crown of the Sunken King, and Crown of the I think it was Frozen Ivory, Sunken. Crown of the Ivory Sunken, and whatever the last one is, I'll look it up right now. But the DLC was good. The DLC made the game substantially harder. They're gearing up for the free updates to the PS3 and Xbox, or at least the PC, for the.
Yeah, I'll get the. I'm gonna probably get the PS4 version when it comes out. What are they calling it?
Sin of the First Scholar.
Sin of the First Scholar. Yeah, I'll get that edition. I actually really liked Dark Souls 1.
You fucking did not.
No, I really did.
You finished Demon Souls.
Demon Souls. No, I didn't finish Demon Souls.
It's the same thing. It's
no,
a game
it's
of
not.
frustration.
No, it's not. No, Dark Souls. Dude, I put 40 hours into Dark Souls, which is not a lot by comparison to a lot of people. But like, I dumped my PC. I dumped a shitload of time into Dark Souls.
The last one was Crown of the Ivory King. And Crown of the Ivory King had one of the most interesting boss fights in those series where I doubt it's hardly a spoiler. But what happens is you rescue these knights, or you activate these knights in Crown of the Ivory King. And what happens is you defeat a boss before you go fight the Ivory King. And what happens is you rescue about 4 or 5 knights, and they're dead knights that have been like frozen in time, and they come to help you with the boss fight. And it's really cool. So what happens in the Crown of the Ivory King is you go down into this molten center of wherever the hell it is, and I think there are 4 or 5 mirrors. So what happens is there's a big fight. The knights are fighting these evil knights that are coming out of the mirrors, and what happens is however many knights you saved will freeze the mirrors. So when the Ivory King inevitably comes out, if you only saved 1 knight, it's going to freeze 1 mirror, and enemies will keep pouring out of those mirrors. The enemies will keep pouring out of the mirrors, and you'll have to fight the Ivory King while these enemies pour out. Whereas if you saved the 4 or 5 knights, they'll go and close up all the mirrors. I mean, it was definitely a really interesting boss fight. One of the best in Dark Souls that I've ever played. Aside from Easelith and Seath, the Scaleless. But man, Dark Souls 2 was just a fantastic fucking game. There was time travel. They didn't simplify things. They made things clear as to how they work. And I don't want to say that they made it easier, but they made it understandable. And I think that's my personal game of the year. Dark Souls 2 was just really sharp and really good, and definitely improved on the predecessor. Not in every way, but enough ways to make me enjoy it a lot more.
So you're telling us you liked it?
Yes, loved it.
Right.
I would blow it if I had to.
Wow, blow Dark Souls 2. All right. That's awesome and really weird. So moving along then, because we're not going to keep this cast rolling for too long, but too long. But what are you thinking about for your most anticipated of 2015, Mr. Heil?
Right now, toss between The Witcher 3 and Arkham Knight.
Okay. Which?
Yep, probably Arkham Knight because I love Rocksteady. I love the combat. It feels so heavy, so gritty.
I gotta get into this with you because you are talking about a year where Uncharted is coming out, and you don't have Uncharted.
Well, we don't know for sure.
Well, I thought they said that it was a guarantee for 2014.
No, they didn't say anything.
We'll see that. And
2015.
Otherwise, if you want to throw that into that, I'd throw Mass Effect 4 in there too.
Mass Effect 4.
Right now, the ones that have been announced, 2015, would be The Witcher 3. I got the CE coming to that. Kind of excited for that. I wanted the Batmobile of Arkham Knight, but that sold out so fast.
Oh, I got one of those. I got the Batmobile edition. Somebody's butthurt.
Butthurt, dude.
And also for a Wii U game, I want the new Chronicles. That says 2015, so they haven't released a date. They say a spring for Japan, so we're thinking summer, but I'm guessing fall. But that's okay. So those three for sure that have been announced for sure. But yeah, Uncharted 4, hell yeah. I'm gonna get the deluxe CE day, baby, day one.
Kyle, are people validated for feeling like Uncharted 4 wasn't overly impressive in the demo? The demo that they showed, that was like a 7-minute long combat demo.
Well, that's how I find it was a representation of the game. People they turned down a lot of shit. I mean, as games like Titanfall is shown, where they're just running through the game, they're not putting the final polish on the graphics. And if we know, I mean, tell me a Naughty Dog game that's looked for the time has looked bad. I mean,
Yeah,
you really
no,
can't.
Yeah, their games.
I mean, are they going to be the best looking game? I think Uncharted 2 could be said for that. I thought The Last of Us looked fantastic, but is it the best looking game? Probably not. But is it a shitty looking game? No.
No. But visuals aside, I mean, I don't even. I know that the visuals are going to deliver like Naughty
Hey,
Dog.
there's one thing they know that is their money train. That's the face of Naughty Dog. So
Yeah.
I think they're gonna put as much as they can into the game.
Yeah.
I guess another game I'm looking forward to. I'm still looking forward to The Order. I'm having high hopes for that.
Fingers crossed. I'm with you.
Yeah, fingers crossed. It could be. It could be a game there. It's just you know, a lifeless, dull corridor shooter. I'm hoping not. Hoping they put a lot of play into the player's hand. But I'm still gonna buy it to support one of our friends. It's in the company. And I don't buy too many games. I've talked to Heroic about this. I don't buy too many games these days day one. Since I have GameFly now in a backlog. I'm still finishing Far Cry, so that came out November. So I don't mind playing games or playing my backlog.
Yeah.
PSN, Xbox Live games. Till games come out that I want to buy day one. Otherwise, GameFly. I GameFly so many games. The Walking Dead 2, Wolfenstein.
Yeah. What is it? At $20 a month?
I got a 2-disc thing, so yeah, it's like 22, I think, with tab. You can get a 1-disc for like 15 or 16. So,
Yeah.
But I've easily paid for that. I played Wolfenstein. I played The Walking Dead 2. I played Call of Duty Advanced
Warfare.
Advanced Warfare. I can't even think of all the ones I've got, but I'm getting GTA.
Yep.
That's still $60. It's well worth it for me, and I get to play shit ton of games. So
yeah, that's what it's all about.
But I don't buy too many games day one, but it's good for it. I'm buying The Order to support, and I don't buy a lot of games day one. I think it's worth it if and it looks really neat. So I love that steampunk Victorian. So hopefully they nail it. What about you, Eroica?
My top 3 would be in order. I'm looking forward to Helldivers by Arrowhead Studios, the guys that made.
Isn't that
Magicka.
Horse? Oh yeah. I was thinking the Horse Marquee Resogun devs.
That one I'm looking forward to also, but I don't know if there's a release date on that. I know that Helldivers has been slated to come out now. I think it's going PS4 cross-buy or cross-play, and it's also going PC. I think those are the only 2 platforms it's on. But looks like, from everything I've seen, like a action-heavy, gun-oriented version of Magicka, where you're 3 other friends and you are rolling around that isometric looking map, or that top-down map where everybody is there's friendly fire. Kyle, if you want to akin back to some of our early days of playing Magic and blowing each other up using the wrong spells and stuff like that. So I think Arrowhead in Magicka developed a game that is unlike gameplay-wise other games that I've played, and that's why I gravitate towards Magicka, is that I know when I play it, I'm playing some other corner of video games that I don't often get a chance to play. So Magicka was good enough for me to say that this company's follow-up is got me excited. So thank you, Animal. And
look, it's a penis.
Yeah. Is that what your penis looks like?
This is what mine looks like.
Yeah, that's incredibly tiny. Yeah. So anyways, number 2 for me would be Axiom Verge. For those of you who don't know, Axiom Verge is basically like a Metroidvania stuck between, I guess, 8-bit, 16. No, I wouldn't say 16-bit, more like an 8-bit Metroid type style. Actually looks very much like original Metroid, but it's developed wholly by one guy. He's doing everything from the music to the coding, and it's got a little bit of a pull of every great element of every great old 8-bit, 16-bit, like 2D side-scroller game in it. So Axiom Verge has been on my radar for about a year now, so I'm excited for that. Oh, maybe not a year, maybe like 6 months or so. Outside of that, number one would be No Man's Sky. I mean, I read a stat today that they said that it would take, 500 million years for a player of No Man's Sky to visit every planet in the game for 1 second.
No.
Yep.
Well,
they throw shit out like that, but
they have some crazy tech behind that game. No,
I forgot about those games. I really want Helldivers. I also want Rhyme. I hope Rhyme comes out this year.
Oh, yeah, that looks good.
No Man's Sky is going to be really good.
But, those games, including No Man's Sky, it's just like, they seem like they're been in development forever, and there's no, like, solid goal date, so we'll see.
Yeah.
I want those too. What about you, Animal?
What am I excited for? Sleep. I'm excited for Sleep, the game. In reality, for me, in no particular order, I'm excited for Bloodborne. Bloodborne is
PS4 exclusive. Oh, yeah.
There we go. But it's Miyazaki, or whatever his name is, the original director of the Dark Souls games. He created Dark Souls and Demon Souls, and he wasn't on board for Dark Souls 2. He was a supervisor and a producer. And I think him being back at the helm, producing his own game and directing his own game, and from what I've heard from Ingrish on Steam, Ingrish or whomever it is, they say that the game's mechanics have changed for the better, that it's definitely a lot more of an offense rather than a defense thing that the Dark Souls games have been. And he says, it seems like you're a vampire, where if you get struck, you have a certain amount of time to hit the enemy back to regain your health.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that makes for an interesting mechanic. I think that they showed 3 different classes of a character, which I think will make for better mechanics. And I think Bloodborne is going to be a really interesting game. If not, treading a little bit of familiar territory with retreading familiar territory.
Brain damage.
Brain damage.
Here it is.
Here it is, guys.
He's like, what were we saying?
No, it's
No Man's Sky.
retreading familiar territory with new twists. I think
gotcha.
that's a good way to put it. I'm going to put my number 2 at Resident Evil Revelations 2. I think Resident Evil Revelations was a really good breath of fresh air for the series. It was what everyone wanted on a mobile level, considering it was originally for the 3DS, got ported to everything else. Unfortunately, because of the nature of it being on the 3DS, they only had so many enemy types, but it was still a Resident Evil game at heart, and you can move and shoot, and I think they upped the ante. I think they really made a good Resident Evil game that made Capcom go, oh fuck, we have to do something good again. And I think with the return of Claire Redfield and Barry Burton and Moira Burton, I think it'll be an interesting concept. Unfortunately, I'm going to do my best not to buy the game because it's coming out episodically.
I was going to say, I read the other day that it's coming out in chunks, and I think that's kind of neat.
It's only $25.
Yeah, I think that's kind of cool.
They're releasing 4 episodes, and Capcom already has them scheduled out. So it's not like, okay, I have to wait for the next episode.
Right.
Like, I'm in the wind here. They have a release date for at least, I think, it's either 4 or 5 episodes. I don't know how many episodes it is. I'd rather play the game in one sitting in a co-op session, if it is a co-op game. But that's just me. $25 on PSN and Xbox Live. Not a bad deal for for a full game, and we saw it at Comic-Con.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't look bad.
The other thing that model does too is it allows for like 3-4 months after release for like PSN or Xbox Live or Steam or whatever to like run a sale on it and get people like
reinvested.
Well, and not Resident Evil, but Walking Dead does that, where sometimes they'll give the first chapter away for free because they know that it's going to get people invested in wanting to see what comes after it. And I'm not saying that they're going to give a $25 game away for free, but
the first episode.
I can see them running down the road. I can see them saying, "Hey, we've got 3 of the 4 episodes out. We're about to launch another one. Let's give the first one away at $5. See if we can grab people in." And I think that I don't have anything against the episodic content. I think it's actually kind of cool for fans.
Well, now that it's been working out, I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah.
And my number 1 anticipated game of this year is Batman Arkham Knight.
Yeah.
Jeff, you know me. I'm a huge Batman fan.
Both you guys are Batman nerds.
Just like I can't, there's nothing I can say or do that will make me like a game's a game, and Batman might not be good, but at the end of the day, I know I'll still love it.
Yeah.
And as I listen, like I really appreciate you taking me to the baseball game over the summer, but this is what I'm going to draw a comparison to. I'm buying the Batmobile edition for $200.
Right.
It's just like when you buy it's like when you buy tickets for a Yankees game or no, you know what I mean? It's
a significant release for you.
But it also has meaning to you. Like when we went to when we went to the Yankees game, it was like one of Jeter's last games, though he didn't play.
Yeah. I did see his very last game, by the way. I was in attendance.
You went there with your brother, right?
Yeah, I was in attendance for Derek Jeter's final game. Yeah.
But that's what it's like for me. Like Batman holds such a significance. I've loved him since I was a child, and
man love.
Such man love.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I mean, and Batman's pretty badass. I mean, the Arkham games,
they've all been sharp.
Yeah, Rocksteady delivers. I mean,
and even Origins wasn't bad. It just appealed to the comic book crowd a little more, which I thought was smart.
Yeah. Yep, cool. So Animal's 3 picks then were what was number 3? Bloodborne, Resident Evil, and Batman. Gotcha. All right, cool.
Yeah, your 3 were Axiom Verge, Helldivers, and No Man's Sky.
Yep.
And Heil was Witcher 3,
Arkham Knight.
Yep. And what was it? The Order, Uncharted 4.
How about the last thing that we do before we get out of here? Just because it's been rattling around in my mind is do either, and this could be like a 1-sentence answer. Do either of you guys have a gaming New Year's resolution?
Buy less games.
Buy less games day one.
Day one.
Then,
I'm with Heil. Like day one.
Enjoy the backlog, GameFly.
Yep.
Like I said, they already announced the new Assassin's Creed game. Even though I want to play 2, I probably won't get that day one. Get it later. I still want to play Rogue. I still want to play old Gen 7 games. I still want to play Blacklist.
Yep.
So there's tons of games I could still play and enjoy. So
yep.
Make them wow me. There's still some games, Mass Effect, Uncharted that I'm gonna buy day one no matter what. But overall, I bet you I buy less than. I mean, out of all 3 systems, I buy less than 10 all year.
Yeah, I mean, I've had years where I've bought as little as 2 games at $60, and I've had years that I've bought 15, 20 games at $60. And I think that for me, I'm along the same lines as you guys. I'm just going to be a little bit more selective. My time is a little bit more at a premium with 2 little kids that require a lot of my attention, and also
too little. They're growing up.
Well, they're growing up. I was going to say, and also 2 little kids that are actually growing up and enjoying the hobby themselves. So, like,
Daddy needs to be there for you kids.
Well, no, I mean, like we'll go down. Sometimes I'll come home, from work or whatever, and we'll have dinner or whatever. And I'm thinking to myself, well, maybe the kids, this is 6:30 in the evening. The kids and I can maybe head downstairs and play. Or I'm thinking I'm
Tower
gonna
Fall,
or I'm even thinking I'm just the kids have got things to do and I'm gonna go downstairs and play Dragon Age or Destiny or whatever I want to play, and then before I know it, I got two little companions with me, and it's like, all right, I got to make sure I'm playing something appropriate or whatever. I mean, I've let them actually both of them make their own characters on Destiny.
Destiny isn't too violent. It's more fantastical, luckily.
Yeah, it's all alien violence and stuff. But
how did you feel about Diablo? Because
Diablo, you know what? I let my boys play Diablo with me. Like I'm not gonna get into I'm not going to get into like
a super strict
Yeah, I'm just I'm strict enough with my kids, and I'm also connected enough to the hobby through my interest where I know what is suggestible material and what is not. My kids being a wizard shooting a tornado at a group of skeletons and the skeleton bones falling apart is not something that I'm worried about, rearranging my kids' DNA and outlook on the world.
Yeah.
But the butt fuck scene in GTA 5 is. So I'm not going to let my kids play GTA 5, but I'll let my kids play Diablo. And so even though there's an M on the front of both of those packages, I still try to look with like a discerning eye and say, all right,
Diablo's not that bad.
Diablo's
not that bad. It's
Destiny's
more like
not that. Destiny's not even that bad.
Yeah, no, Destiny's not bad. Like Diablo and Destiny are more like fantastical. Like Diablo, you just have creatures blowing up and shooting serpents, or
right.
Very minimal blood, where it's like human on human violence, where it's just like there are people exploding. It's like demons and goblins and imps, and like you said, that's not gonna rearrange their thoughts or ideas on the world because they know it's fantastical.
Yeah.
Which is really good. Speaking of which, I beat Diablo 3 on PS4. I beat a hardcore character. I beat Mathael. I got him up to level 70.
What level did you play? Did you play normal?
Yes, normal for the hardcore.
Yeah, but I think I want to do that too. We should do that, Eroica.
Yeah, well, that's cool with me. Actually, Heil and I played the other day. I was a level 20, and he was a level 39.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. And so we played a little bit of Diablo together, and I think he leveled me up about 8 levels in about we only played for about 45 minutes to an hour.
Oh,
yeah, wasn't that long.
I'm starting to work on the torment difficulties with my demon hunter. I have a level 70 demon hunter and a level 70 hardcore character, though I'm never touching it again.
Yeah,
that's stressful enough. Never being able to die in a game.
Yeah.
Woo!
That's what I was saying to Heil. I'm like, this is my first go around with Diablo, and I'm like, am I supposed to like even take damage here because I keep ball bagging everybody?
You're getting like elite gear from
depends on
friends
difficulties, friends, how many people you're playing with.
Yeah.
But no, I went through the whole game by myself on hardcore.
That gear and gems I got you is like later in the game. You don't even get that shit, but it's nice to get it from your friends because you just fuck. Even you can play levels like above you just easily just because you got the gear to do it. So
yeah. See, that was the other thing is that you gave me a bunch of good gear, but I don't even know how far down the line that gear is compared to what I got. I mean, I was pulling in yellow.
Yellow is what you're gonna get most of the time.
Yeah. I gave him some set pieces and some legendaries.
Oh, you gave him some set pieces. Nice. I've been sending you, Heil, if you haven't noticed, I've been sending you gifts left and right.
Yeah, I saved 2 because I wanted to open them up on my level 70, see if they help. Because if you open them up on your level, they'll give you roughly right around what you have. So as far as level, so I want to open them. I had my 39, so I saved 2 to open up on my level 70.
Yeah, him and get your special mention to get your Yayas out. I've been sending him a bunch of gifts as well.
Because we had to do a cast like on a Monday or Tuesday so he can join because he works Thursday nights.
Yeah. I'm free to play Diablo. I'm trying to platinum it. The longest trophy though is you have to get one of each class up to level 70.
Yep, I got 2 out of 270s.
Yeah, I have
already.
270s as well. One of them's, like I said, hardcore that I'll never touch again, because that's just such a stressful thing to, like, no deaths. You can't die throughout the entire game. Throughout 20 hours of game, well, like probably 12 to 20 hours of gameplay, you cannot die once.
Yeah.
And
Jesus.
I got the 70's the level cap. I got that character to 70. So
That's badass. Yeah, cool. Well, all right, guys, it's time to wrap things up.
what aside from we got Bloodborne, not Bloodborne, we got Dying Light coming out. I just want to mention some new releases. We got Dying Light coming out January 27th. We got Resident Evil HD coming out January 20th. And then the first big game of the year, Evolve, February 10th. How do you guys feel about Evolve, Heil?
I got mixed because it's online only. There's no single player components. So again, if you're stuck with randoms, I don't think it'd be fun. I think it'd be fun if you played with some of your friends.
Yep. Eureka?
Yeah, I'm gonna wait.
I don't know. I have to get podcast friend Dylan a birthday gift. I might buy him Evolve.
Nice.
Left 4 Dead was fun.
Yeah, no doubt.
If they put a good spin on Left 4 Dead, I'm all for it.
Yep.
And speaking of which, I bought the new Sony zombie game H1Z1.
Mm-hmm.
Alpha Access on Steam. Doesn't work.
No shit, it's bad.
Well, no, it just doesn't work.
Oh God, that's not good.
$20 down the tube.
Yeah. Well, maybe it'll work someday for you, Animal.
Well, they're not releasing it on PS. They're using the PC as a test ground.
Yeah.
Which is nice. So that means when it releases on PS4, it'll be all hunky-dory.
Nice. Excellent. Well, all right, guys, we're going to wrap things up. I want to take a moment and wish everybody a happy 2015 on behalf of Pedal to the Metal. I also want to remind the community and everybody listening that a lot of the guys put back together the System Wars Awards over at the forum, and then there's a thread up in the sticky. If you are listening and have not voted, please do. A lot of guys put in some effort to do that, and it's kind of a fun. I always like the System Wars Awards. You know, I was never for the first however many years of being on System Wars, didn't care, never got voted. You know, it was just something I like to take part in, because you do recognize people's different personalities and people's strengths on the board, and I think that the awards make for a better community. So I'm hoping that even if you're just kind of like a casual, even if you only had like 1 or 2 run-ins with people that stand out in your mind, jump on and throw a vote for somebody, because it's kind of fun. So
Yep.
Yeah, but other than that,
I come back next month.
That's right. So Banimal Mother will be back, and but anyways, yeah, I want to say thanks to Animal for being on. Animal, we're glad that your melon is doing okay, and hopefully the brain damage will seize up soon.
What?
Exactly. We want to say thanks to the hashtag legendary Heil68 for hosting.
Yeah. So thanks for joining, everybody. So we'll catch you soon. Come on board. We'd love to have some new guests for 2015.
Absolutely.
All right, later.
See ya.
Bye. Oh, yeah, I should hit